Well, I mean, it was announced in April, but we kind of signed the deal for June, like 1st of June it was effective basically, and we are still working out all the stuff with THQ, so that takes like longer than expected a bit, but we are working on that. First of all, I have to say I'm a big fan of Darksiders 1 and 2, so I kind of know what the game is and what makes it special. They did a really good job in finding a sweet spot on the PC and console landscape that nobody else like did. They in essence, I think they made a game similar to Zelda and kind of attached like a dark theme with this whole apocalypse story on that, and with just great and fine artwork. We are talking, or we try to talk to members of the original team to kind of get their thoughts on what should the next step be in the franchise, and for us it's really important that those guys are involved, because they were occupying their minds for years on Darksiders and how to make it a good game. So it's good to talk to those guys. They're spread all over the world basically. Some have their own stuff, and some are working on other games, some are working for Crytek, and so we are trying to talk to those guys, and we are already in a good dialogue.
Do you see it possible for Darksiders to exist without his involvement?
Well, I think there is the possibility, because the whole franchise, it's already defined in that sense. So if you got the right people that can continue how he imagined it and how he initially created it, it can be possible. But I think ideally I would like to work with him on the new Darksiders. Well, I mean, first of all, I think great games don't need a big budget or a certain number. Yeah, you just need to find the right team that can make good results out of that. In the past 5 years, we've seen developers with not a 20 or 100 million budgets creating really awesome stuff. And I think it's just important to find the right setup where we can make a good game together with those guys.
You have the distribution rights now for some titles from Double Fine.
Custom Quest and Second. But you know, it's just the console distribution, right? So on the PC, Mac, Linux side, or like the whole IP belongs to Tim and the folks at Double Fine. And Tim is a guy who easily says something in the public, and just a few weeks after we announced this, he was like, oh, we want to get that back and do something, and we were not really talking, and we were, for us it was not even closed, and we heard this statement from him that he would like to do something on that, and it's like always the bad publisher. But we actually never had the intention to like block him or anything, and we are currently working things out with him in a very amicable way, and I think we'll find a solution where especially he is very satisfied and the players get something cool. For selling off, I mean, we need to find the right construction and also a team that really wants it. If there is somebody who is interested in something, yeah, we can discuss it. It just needs to be like the right setup, and they really want to do something great with that, and we believe in those guys. Okay, yeah, we sell it off. But I mean, speaking on the list, we started to evaluate all this stuff that's there, starting when the THQ problems like emerged to the public, so end of December, January. So when we actually got it, we kind of knew what we got and what potential is there. We have a few of those titles where we see high potential. Some of those are really tricky takes because they're either in the casual kid space or are in the military first-person shooter genre, which is very crowded. When the transaction closed in June, we kind of got a big package of data from THQ, which was essentially source codes, graphic assets, and a lot of other things, which we now evaluate and kind of look into what can be done out of that, what's the potential of that, what can be the direction for the future. We are already working with some smaller teams to kind of see what we can do to bring it to the next level. The time frame is really difficult to say, because at the moment we are still in the phase where we discover, the more we evaluate it, we discover obstacles that are like dependent on getting like more stuff from THQ, which is at the moment kind of tricky. But we're working it out. We're working with the remaining folks to kind of clear that up and get everything what we need.
So you're still waiting on stuff from THQ?
Yeah. We do. We do. This is just because we have the approach, we want to have the complete package, or as much as possible. So sometimes it's not important, sometimes it's like a piece which we can replace, especially if we drive it further, but it would be good to have it. The evaluations go on, and we always make plans for if we get that, if we don't get it, how we move on. And at the moment, I think the franchise where we are closest to do something is MX versus ATV. Because that's actually not such a hard thing. In essence, there's already a lot of stuff there, and it's a racing game, so we just have to see what they did wrong in the past, focus on the core values, and just get that right. And it doesn't kind of measure what other things we have going on.
Okay.
But it's one of those things where which is on the top 3 priorities right now.
Is that the one that's like the shortest distance to ship?
I wouldn't say to ship, but to announce probably.
Okay.